you've got a track, right? The vibe, the energy,
Yeah.
it feels good in the mix. But, that jump from a good mix to something really professional, ready to release.
Yeah, that final step can be tough.
Exactly. And traditionally, well, you'd send it off, wait a bit, hope it comes back sounding amazing. But what if, like, that studio polish was just instant?
Well, that's pretty much what we're diving into today. It's called Valkyrie. Comes from beats to rap on.
Valkyrie. Okay.
And it's described as autonomous agentic AI mastering. Now, this isn't just, another AI dabbling in mastering. It seems specifically built for genres like rap, hip-hop, trap, R&B, Afrobeats, reggae, even instrumentals in those veins.
Okay, hold on. Autonomous agent. That sounds pretty advanced. We're not just talking about one smart algorithm here, are we?
No, not according to our sources, which are mostly from the Beats to Rap on site and some articles about it. It seems way more complex.
Yeah.
They actually call it the world's first fully autonomous agentic expert in AI audio mastering. The key word there, I think, is agentic.
Agentic.
Meaning, instead of just one AI making all the calls, Valkyrie apparently uses a whole swarm, that's their term, a swarm of specialized AI agents. They all work together on your track.
Like a team, an AI team.
Kind of, yeah, like assembling a dream team of AI audio specialists. Each one knows its specific area, EQ, compression, whatever, and they all collaborate to get the best sound.
Huh. Okay, so walk me through it. If I'm an artist, I've got my mix ready.
Right.
What do I actually do? It looks pretty simple on the surface.
It's designed to be, yeah, very straightforward. You just upload your track, WAV, FLAC, MP3, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Then this Valkyrie AI swarm gets to work. And here's where it gets kind of cool, different from just watching a progress bar. You get real-time Mel Spectrogram feedback.
Mel Spectrogram, like a visual EQ.
Exactly like that. It
Yeah.
shows you all the frequencies, low bass to high treble, like colors. Valkyrie actually shows you right there on the screen how it's adjusting those colors in your music.
Wow, wait. So you can see the changes happening in real time.
Yeah, that's
unusual.
a lot of transparency. It really is. And once it's done its thing, you can easily compare the before and after. Standard waveform views, an A/B player to switch between them instantly.
And if you like it.
If you like what you hear, you just download it.
Yeah.
A high-res 24-bit WAV master optimized for streaming. Ready to go.
Okay, let's dig a bit deeper then. What's actually happening under the hood during this process? They mentioned a 27-step AI precision process. That sounds intensive.
It does, yeah. It seems pretty comprehensive. This whole multi-stage thing covers everything from just prepping the file, to cleaning it up maybe, to this really advanced AI audio analysis.
What analysis like?
Like it digs into the track's sonic DNA, is how they put it. Figures out the genre vibes, the dynamics, the louds and softs, the overall frequency balance, all that stuff.
Right.
And then it moves into specific processing steps, things like AI adaptive EQ, which is about fine-tuning frequencies for clarity, making sure everything sits right, and AI multiband compression, which can, add punch, control things, glue the sound together.
Okay, those sound like, like standard mastering moves, things a human engineer would definitely do. So where does the agentic part, the swarm thing, fit into these 27 steps?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. It seems each of these 27 steps isn't just one big AI brain doing it all. Instead, you've got these specialized AI agents handling different stages.
So one agent for EQ, another for compression.
Kind of, yeah. Maybe multiple agents contribute to a stage. But you could have, say, an EQ expert agent, a compression dynamics agent, maybe a saturation agent adding warmth, a stereo widening agent. You get the idea.
Okay.
But the key is they don't just work one after the other in isolation. This agentic AI agent swarm collaborates. They talk to each other, basically, throughout the whole 27 steps. It's all driven by machine learning. They're constantly checking the dynamic range, the EQ balance, stereo if it, loudness, working together like a highly coordinated team to get that pro master.
And the fact that it knows the genre seems huge, especially for the styles they're targeting.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big selling point. Valkyrie's been trained on massive amounts of music, specifically in rap, hip-hop, trap, R&B, Afrobeats, reggae.
So it knows what those genres are supposed to sound like.
Exactly. It's learned the sonic conventions. So the way it masters a really heavy 808-driven trap beat is going to be fundamentally different from how it approaches, say, a smooth R&B track with vocals way out front. It gets the nuances.
This definitely brings up the big question, though. How does this Valkyrie thing compare? I mean, you've got traditional human mastering engineers, the gold standard for ages, and then you've got other AI services, LANDR, CloudBounce, those guys. Where does Valkyrie fit? What's different?
Yeah, our sources lay out a pretty direct comparison, and Valkyrie makes some pretty bold claims. Speed, for instance. They say it's basically instant, often under 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Compared to, well, human mastering, you might wait, what, 1 to 3 days, sometimes longer. Even other AI services, while generally quick, might vary a bit more.
Okay, speed is one thing. What else? Cost must be different.
Oh, yeah. Cost is a huge factor. Valkyrie has free options, apparently, or low-cost premium stuff. Human mastering, you're looking at maybe $50, maybe hundreds per track. Other AIs are often subscription-based or have their own per-track fees.
Right. And they also talk about consistency. That can sometimes be, well, inconsistent, even with humans. Right.
That's a fair point. Valkyrie pushes this idea of machine-accurate, genre-trained consistency. A machine, theoretically, should apply its learning the same way every time.
Makes sense.
Whereas a human engineer, brings that invaluable artistic perspective, but maybe there's slight variation day to day or between engineers. Other AIs aim for consistency too, but maybe without Valkyrie's claimed level of specific genre training.
And that visual thing you mentioned, the Mel Spectrograms, that seems pretty unique too.
It really does, showing you the before and after spectrograms side by side in real time. That level of visual insight isn't something you typically get from a human engineer or see highlighted in other AI platforms.
They mentioned some pretty heavy tech names potentially involved: Google, AWS, Anthropic, OpenAI models, calling it autonomous agentic AI orchestration. How does that stack up against, a human with their gear and ears or the tech behind LANDR?
Well, a human engineer uses a mix of, high-end gear, software plugins, but most importantly, their trained ears and years of experience. It's very artisanal in a way.
Right.
Other AI services typically rely on their own proprietary AI, their own machine learning models they've built. Valkyrie's approach, talking about orchestrating the swarm of agents, maybe leveraging some of these big foundational AI models, plus special ways for the agents to talk to each other. It suggests maybe a more layered and possibly nuanced decision process than just one single AI algorithm doing everything.
So this agentic AI, it's not just marketing fluff then. It actually describes how it works.
Based on the info we have, yeah, it seems to be the core operational idea. It's a system where multiple autonomous AI agents, each a specialist in some aspect of audio, work together. They communicate, they share data about the track. They might even sort of debate the best approach in real time to get the final result.
Debate.
Yeah.
AI agents debating.
Well, maybe not debating like humans do, but exchanging information and adjusting based on each other's findings to reach an optimal state decided by the system.
And it keeps learning, getting better.
Yes, the sources definitely point to self-learning and continuous optimization. They hint at using techniques inspired by research like AlphaVolve for algorithm refinement, using reinforcement learning. Basically, it's designed to constantly analyze its own results, figure out what works best, and keep improving how the agent swarm makes decisions over time.
Okay, wow. This sounds like it could really be a game changer, especially for artists doing everything themselves, the DIY scene. What kind of impact are we looking at here?
I think the potential impact is massive. It's kind of democratizing that pro sound, isn't it? Independent artists, especially in those key genres, rap, hip-hop, R&B, Afro beats, they might now be able to get really polished, professional-sounding masters without the big cost or the long wait times of traditional mastering. It could seriously level the playing field. Lets more artists release music that competes sonically.
But, okay, here's the thing. What about the human touch? Music isn't just numbers and algorithms. There's an art to mastering, a feel. Can AI, even a smart swarm of AI, truly replicate that subtle judgment, the emotional understanding an experienced human brings?
That is, I think, the million-dollar question here. It's a really critical point. AI is amazing at precision, consistency, speed, doing things by the numbers.
Right.
But music has all this subjective stuff, the emotion, the feel. A human mastering engineer uses years of listening, understands musical context, makes tiny decisions based on instinct and artistic intent, not just data. Can AI fully capture that intuitive artistic judgment? That's still very much an open question, I'd say.
And there's another potential issue, isn't there? Could things start sounding the same? If everyone starts using similar AI mastering, do we risk a kind of sonic homogenization, an AI sound?
That's definitely a valid concern people raise. If AI mastering gets super popular and sort of sticks to a narrow range of sonic perfection, yeah, there's a risk that tracks might lose some individual character, some of those unique sonic choices a human might make.
Mm-hmm.
However, maybe Valkyrie's genre-specific training and that whole agentic thing with internal debate, maybe that helps mitigate it a bit. But really focusing on the known aesthetics of different genres, it's something to watch.
What about the actual mastering engineers, the humans doing this job? How does something like Valkyrie affect them?
Their role might shift, It probably evolves. Maybe they focus more on the really high-end, bespoke projects that absolutely need that deep artistic input.
Or complex stuff?
Or complex stuff, yeah. Or maybe they even start using tools like Valkyrie themselves as a starting point, perhaps. Or for handling more straightforward tasks, freeing them up for the really critical creative decisions. It could become another tool in their toolbox.
It's also crucial to remember, mastering is the last step, right? The quality of the actual music, the beat, the lyrics, the mix. That's still the foundation.
Oh, absolutely fundamental. And the beats to rap on resources seem to stress this too. Skills like beat making, flow, songwriting, they are still paramount. AI mastering, no matter how good, can't magically fix a weak song or a terrible mix.
True.
Valkyrie adds polish, professionalizes the sound, but the art has to be there first.
Okay, so if we try and boil all this down,
Yeah.
what are the main takeaways about Valkyrie? What makes it stand out?
I'd say the really unique points are that autonomous agentic AI approach, the swarm idea. It's very specific focus and optimization for urban and rhythmic genres. The sheer speed and affordability, especially with free options available, and that unique visual feedback using the Mel Spectrogram.
So a potentially powerful tool.
Definitely seems like a significant step in AI mastering tech. It really could empower a lot of creators, giving them easier access to that pro sound. But, and this is key, artistic vision, foundational skills, they're still absolutely essential. AI is a tool, not a replacement for creativity.
It really does make you think, though. How might tools like this reshape how artists even approach making music? If you know mastering is quick and cheap, does it change how you mix, how you finish tracks?
That's a fascinating question for artists to chew on, right? And
Right.
looking bigger picture, as AI gets woven deeper into music production, how's it going to shape the future soundscape? What happens to the role of human creativity in all this?
Yeah.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Maybe even try out Valkyrie, see how it feels for your own projects, or just watch how these technologies develop. And it sounds like Beats to Rap On is positioning itself as a resource beyond just mastering, with beats, lyric tools, education.
Seems like it.
The evolution of music tech is clearly not slowing down, and how it continues to impact artists. Well, we'll definitely be watching that unfold.